Alright, I'm going to show you a little bit about RVPARKY that I use for trip planning when we're getting ready to make RV travels. And you can go to RVPARKY.com, and this is what you'll see. And you begin by entering a zip code. And I believe you can have 7 free trips. I mean, you can plan 7 stops before you need to purchase the program. It's inexpensive, really. It's a good program. It's worth the amount you pay for it. So I would encourage you to look at going ahead and subscribing if you like. You can see I've already come to the front page here, and I'm going to go over here to the trip section. And it's going to ask me to log in, so I'm going to have to put my login credentials here, and then we'll come back to the program. Okay, and we're back, and I have logged into the program, and you can see now that I have actually already started a trip, but we're going to do a new trip. We're going to call it new trip, and we're going to just go ahead and put today's start date. We're going to put Memphis, Tennessee as a starting point, and you can have it calculate fuel cost and so forth. You can fill out the rest. And so you can see over here on this screen, it has our starting destination. And if you mark return here, it knows that eventually you want to backtrack on the same trip. But we're going to go ahead and trip plan. So now if you use the scroll wheel on your mouse, you'll come to use that often, because as you add stops, you'll want to follow along in your map over here on the right side. Alright, so we're going to start here. We're going to say we want to add a start. So we're leaving Memphis, Tennessee, and let's say we want to go into a destination. Maybe we'll go to Hernando, Mississippi as a first start. Now when you click that on, it's going to want you to tell it the dates, and you can go ahead and set how many nights. So for example, say you plan to stay there 2 nights. I'm going to just put 2 nights. Then it's going to help you to find a place to stay, and this is where you're going to start working your map here. You can see my starting point here in the map is Memphis, and you can see now I've put my first stop is Hernando, and I've said I'm going to stay 2 days. Now over on the left side, since I've said find a place, it's going to show me all the locations in that proximity. Now you have a couple options here. You can scroll and read reviews. As you can see, if there's been a review, you can read the reviews. You can also just use the map if it's easier for you to just go straight to the map. And as you scroll your mouse wheel, you'll see these are usually like Corps of Engineer parks or state parks and so forth, private, Walmart, Cracker Barrels, pilots. But I like to go over here and look for those that have pretty good reviews, the type of campground, or if you just need a one-night Walmart. If you, let's bring it up, it'll tell you here that users have reported that there's no overnight parking allowed at this facility. So you're going to need to keep looking, and you can just work your way down. You might, for example, decide you want to go to the Yellowstone Park, bring it up, and you see if it has some pictures. They'll have pictures in there. They'll have reviews. Look at the most current reviews or the last reviews, and they'll give you some. And if you decide that that's the stay you want, you can add it to your trip. And when you add it, it'll ask you where to insert it. Well, we're on our first one, so we're going to insert it at the very first stop. For us, remember, we're doing 2 nights there. And so, let me set that. Done. Now we have a location. So let's back up. Okay, and as you can see now, I've added Memphis Jellystone Park in my first stop at Hernando for 2 nights. And again, you can pull it up, go back and review it. If you wanted, you could change it and find a different location, but we're ready to move on. And by the way, while you're there, you can usually get all the information, directions, call information, and so forth if you need to call them and book in advance, or if you want to check ahead just to make sure. Now, so we're going to move now. Looking at the map, we can bring the map in, and if you wanted to like chart a course and you knew a destination or where you were headed, for example, let's say you wanted your next stop, you're looking at the map and you decide you wanted to go down to Jackson, maybe you're going to cross over Louisiana, coming to Texas or something, so you might want your next destination to be Jackson. Well, you can add a stop here, have it search for Jackson, and just put Mississippi, and it'll add Mississippi on there, and you can see it's calculated the miles. So if you wanted to drive 199 miles, and you could set, I'm going to do like 2 nights there. Now I need to find a place in Jackson, and again you have an option of using these on here or going into your map and find the location. Let's say that you wanted to do just maybe 1 night, and you look over here and you see there's a Cracker Barrel, and you want to try Cracker Barrel for just that 1 night. We could come up here, select it, see if it says overnight parking is allowed, so we could add that to the trip. And again, that's for the stop in Jackson. So we're going to do, instead of 2 nights, let's back it down to 1 night. We're going to be at Cracker Barrel for a night. This is basically how the program works. It's pretty straightforward. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and keep planning. You now, I think, will get some indication of how this operates. Now, once you've got your trip planned and it's ready, you can then print it, share it, export it. There's all kinds of options with this. If you want to, for example, share it with friends or family or something, you can easily just come up here and share it. We give you the option. You can give it to friends or everybody. You can email it. You could print it out. Just all kinds of options and all. Okay, now, so here is an example of a complete trip planning for, say, the western section. You can see I've plugged in, starting basically and working through 42 stops, and with dates attached, and you can easily go in and modify them, but you can then zoom in, zoom out on the camera to get an indication of kind of where you're headed. You can see this trip would take you down through Mississippi, across Louisiana, into Texas, on into New Mexico, Arizona, to Vegas, Utah, and so forth. So, very nice program. I would encourage you to look at it. It's pretty simple to use and all. This is not all of the information. This just to give you a quick overview. Thanks for watching, and I'll do some more videos on this in the future.